My first critique, I would say, is about the timing. Yeah, because it went a bit too late.
Yeah.
So what we expect that the newspapers will cover this morning, and even not electronic media, not almost everybody, will have this thing to go back to the office, prepare
exactly, yeah.
for to do. So maybe it's after this afternoon and maybe subsequently after tomorrow that people will have time to really digest what. But then the first comment is that this time I was happy there was no discrimination in terms of the perceived bias of journalists.
Okay.
So almost everybody had invitation, provided you wanted to be there. Hitherto, we've seen situations where certain media houses and certain media personalities were intentionally barred from such events, and it did not help well. But this one, I say there was freedom, and everybody, once you applied for accreditation, you got it, and you were there, and then you had the opportunity to ask questions. Secondly, I was also happy with the fact that this time it is not a situation where the president will call ministers to respond to questions. The president himself stood there, answered all the questions from all the sectors. And that was commendable.
What does that say
tells
of
me,
him?
that says of him that he's in touch. He's on top of his job. He's getting the feedback required. He's giving people responsibilities. He's getting the feedback from them. My only disappointment was the fact that no question came on drip.
You should have planted one.
Perhaps Larry would have asked that.
You should have planted one.
And let me say this, the questions which were asked were good questions.
Very well.
Very, very good questions. Some of them were a bit skating. To me, I thought that this one is too much in the ribs.
Which one? The one on the Chief Justice?
For example.
The Supreme Leader.
The Supreme Leader. But you could see the way he handled it, the humor he added to it, and it brought the tension down, even making reference to his former boss, the late President Mills. And that was good. I could see everybody there at least laughing.
Yeah.
And it made the atmosphere a bit more relaxed. He himself, apart from the little problem I think he was having with the weather, he himself was very calm, very humble. There was one question that I saw, I thought ruffled him a bit. That was a question on the issues happening in his own backyard.
The Guinea conflict.
Yes, but I said, yeah, that is vintage John Mahama. You know, the gentleman had known the communicator. The way he handled the question, how he stretched to his background, his relationship, our marriage connections, our intermarriages and things. At least, even if it was not directly meant to achieve the ultimate result of bringing peace to the area, just listening to him, I think the factions will understand and appreciate that we are together. We are a group of people who have lived together for long. And maybe if we have not looked at our cultural diversity, that has made us, this time it is this thing for us. So, generally, let me say, it was a good program. I will encourage more of it. I also like the brevity of the questions and the brevity of his own answers. And it's a bit, let me say, that people like Larry did not get the opportunity to ask questions. I would have loved that possibly, yes, but that possibly people like Larry, people that the media have known, people that, let me say, hold very prestigious personality status among the media fraternity, like the way we used to do it, specifically we call Kwaku Bakun, Professor Mills' time, Kwaku Bakun, Kwesi Pratt, and those let them ask questions. I would have wished. But Felix was quiet, and I was very happy with the fact that he even extended the questions to people who were not present. You understand? So people called online, people called outside, And that was good enough. I think that gave almost everybody an opportunity to ask questions. People who never expected, maybe they will have thought that this one is reserved for those on the higher pedestal, but they had opportunity to also ask questions. It was good. Today, the reaction I've picked from people looks like the only question people were not too happy. The only response people were not too happy with was his response on the issue of the Galamsey.
The
I think people came there expecting that the president would say, yes, I've accepted state of emergency. You understand? And so listening to various media houses, people's reaction and all those things, it looks like that's the only question and the only response from him that people were not to. But I felt that he intelligently handled that question because he made it clear that yes, state of emergency, yes, I could do that. But that is when I have exhausted all the opportunities and the legal regimes available to me as a head of state. And I think we haven't. We still have this, we still have this, still have this that we could use to do. And two, I've never thought that from day one, I've never thought that the fight against Galamsey was going to be an event. It's a process. And we started, we've done this, we've done that. We have this number of blue water guards. We're going to recruit more. This is what they are going to do, and this is what we are going to do. It tells you that there's a plan, there's a program. Maybe that plan and that program had not yielded the sort of results that people are looking at. And as we see today, every issue, every discussion about Galamsey have been heightened by the fear that have come as a result of the problems confronting the Ghana Water Company Limited. Obvious, you know, and the sort of attempt to pass that liability to us, the ordinary consumers, which may be justified though, because they will need the sort of resources they will need to be able to cure, to provide the service. So I think that is what the only response that has not generated that much appreciation from the public. But I think in the midst of that lack of appreciation from the public, I think the president really handled himself very well. His responses were apt, and he was also much more relaxed. He didn't create any tension. He gave everybody the opportunity to appreciate that I am still the John Mahama you have known, and the presidency has not changed me. So I think it was a good night. I will encourage more of that. I wish we could have even one more before the end of the year, because we should be able to critically do 1 year assessment of our governance. And I think he's the best person to do that. Maybe somebody will say by the end of the year will be too, but I would have wished that on the 7th of January, for example, which is supposed to be a governance day, our Constitution Day, we could dedicate it to another day like that, where we can have more time, we can have many more journalists have the opportunity to ask questions. At that time, we will have had some yields from the responses he gave yesterday. We could do further more assessment, because obviously there are some of the expectations to me are not the sort of results that you can have within 8 months. You understand? So I wish that on the 7th of January, for example, we can commit it, all of us as a nation, to give the opportunity to him to face us and account to his government.